Hello, hello, friends. Happy almost New Year. Hope you're doing well today. I feel like I have just a hot mess set up in my space right now, so I'm trying to like organize it and like get used to it, but I think I'm fine now. Welcome. Hi. We're gonna talk about the year in review, but I wanted background music, which is now just this. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I don't know if that's low enough for now. I'll leave it. I don't have anything set up because I never have anything set up because it's me. I'm always just constantly like, oh, fucking shit up all at all hours of the day. Oh, I was gonna say it looks greener, but no. Okay. All right. Let's figure out how to do this. How do I do this? It's been a minute since I've streamed anything. Okay, let me actually open up this real quick. Let's see. Oop. Hello. Okay. That's fine by me. Okay. Okay. Let's size that, please. Okay. Okay. Let's see. How do I do this? No. I don't want that per se. Although I could work with that, I guess. It requires some setup though. Yeah. Now, no. Can I close that, please? Close window. Ah. Oh. That would have worked too. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then let's try something. Okay. That's there. I might be able to do that. Not to present a few slides. Yes. Okay. I just need to resize it because, you know, there's reasons. Okay. Because, again, I set up nothing. I'm never ready for anything. Okay. I think that'll be fine. I might turn off the webcam for a minute. Hold on. Well, I guess... Hold on, let's lock that down. Then let's see. How do I do this? This one. Okay. Okay, let's just see if my face is in the way. How about that? I can't even see chat then. That's the problem. Well, not a problem. I just need to move this. Well, how's my face? Yeah, my face is covering up shit. Okay. We'll undo that then. Goodbye, face. No, I think what we'll do is just maybe make this a little smaller. Fill up a section, I guess. I could. You could just fit over this. If I'm gonna do that, I might as well just do this. Okay. And transform. Gonna go top. Okay, let's Right. Hundred and then left. Okay, let's I'll drag you somewhere. Okay. 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 See if that fits. I think it'll fit. Maybe not nicely, but it'll fit. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It'll work what I need it to. Yeah, I mean, why not? It'll work. Okay. Then let's start backwards real quick. Get Safari open at point. Okay. Anyway. Took me a minute. But welcome. So I do this every year because I just like, I don't know. I like hanging out. I like chatting with you guys. I like, you know, just kind of covering what we cover. This year I changed up the format quite a bit, I would say. I added hopefully some interesting things. We'll see. I don't really know how else to start this, but let's just dive in. I say as I'm like, don't have anything open. So I did sub-categorize some of these things because, you know, humans love categorizing things. And I like shoving things in boxes. So first section we're going to go through is just kind of categories and stats that I've tracked year over year since 2021, but not effectively since 2021. I did start streaming in 2020. So this is now going on my 5th year, but technically this is only my 4th full complete year because I started in November, literally streaming, I think, Wild Arms 3 from my PlayStation 4, just streaming straight from my PlayStation 4. So this is, I would say, somewhat different than what I would have done, because I don't think I did anything in 2020 because, again, it was like 2 months. I think I started getting stats in 2021 in terms of tracking games. I'm falling behind on some of those things. I'm getting lazy, and I should really buckle down, but we'll cover them when we get to them. But for starting off with, for the amount of new games that I played this year, surprisingly, it was an even split, 60-40, almost half, basically, 10% higher, but still, which is decent, which means almost about half, give or take, you know, 4 out of the 10 games that I played this year, if you will, were games I've already played before. And the way I track this is specifically looking at, like, I want to say I think I count Octopath Traveler as I've played it before because I got 99% done with it, but I think for something like Neo The World Ends With You, because I only got technically like 70%, I didn't even get to the end. Like, I don't even think I made it that far into week 3, to be quite honest, or week 4 or whatever it was. I didn't really count that one. I'll have to go back through and like maybe show you the spreadsheet I use and all the different numbers and stuff that I pull. It's by no means great, but it's something I do enjoy doing, at least, and figuring out these kinds of metrics. And I'm a numbers guy. I have a degree in mathematics and going for a degree in accounting. Numbers are my jam. So looking over the last 4 years, my first year that I can really track, 2021 is like a full first year. It's actually flipped. I played more games that I played before and less new games that year. I'm kind of back in 2022 stats. 2023 was my best year playing wholly new games to me, which I enjoyed. I like playing new games. I really enjoy them. The one thing I will say, though, is that I kind of want to keep playing newer games, because if it's games that I've played before, while they're fun to go through, maybe challenge modes would be fun if I did stuff like that. A lot of the time, I'm like just trying to get through the story, and it's like Final Fantasy 12 was a game I played before like dozens of times, and I love it. Didn't really skip through that one, as we'll see later, but something like Pokemon, like, God, I was just so fed up with it at the end, and I think that's something I need to keep more in mind of, like, what new stuff am I doing versus what stuff I've played before, because I like playing older stuff stuff I've played before, but it's always nice to get new things, you know, new experiences. So we'll just kind of keep going. And again, it's only 4 years worth of data. I kind of want to see what this looks like after like another 5 or 6 years. Get a full decade of streaming data. Oh, that'd be lovely. So did I complete all the games? Roughly, yes. I think 2021 might be an anomaly because I literally completed all the games that I did that year, but that was also the year I played majority of the games I've played before. So I don't know. It tracks because I looked at all the games and I did finish all of them. 2022, I dropped 4 games, which is the most games I've dropped so far. I dropped Haunted Connection, Dollhouse, Kingdoms of Amulet, and one other game. I don't remember which one it was. Although, I guess 2021, if I streamed Survival Island or whatever, like Monkey Island or whatever, not the... what's the word I'm looking for? Graphic Adventure Monkey Island. It's like the Survivalist. If I dropped Survivalist, it would have been in 21 or 22. I don't remember which year. I'll have to go back and check. But yeah, we're keeping track. I drop maybe like 1 game a year that I'm just like, nah. Or games that I got like 99% done with, but then looking at you, Diablo 2, and just said, the final boss just said, fuck me. And I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah, fuck me, I guess. Diablo, it's what I want. But yeah, so that's like the overall like just intro stats. Let's look at the categories of games I played. No, not surprisingly. I play a lot of role-playing games. It's my bread and butter. But within that, there's some other genres. Like some of them have been adventure, some of them have been action role-playing. Sorry for the action being cut off there. So it's interesting. And if it's like, what I use for these is just specifically whatever Wikipedia and or Google tells me. Mainly Wikipedia. Make sure you guys are supporting Wikipedia, just FYI. It's a wonderful resource. But like there's some games that I would have considered something else. I think I only made one exception where I think Fran Bow was listed as a point and click style game, which it is, that's correct, or maybe a graphical adventure, one or the other. I did add horror to it because it is a horrifying game, and I fully admit that. Like, Fran Bow is downright terrifying for people who are not expecting it, which, you know, fair. It's an enjoyable game. I did like it. And for the past 4 years, I have no other way of really putting this together in a way that would make sense besides this. Is just going through and just stacking them up year by year. For example, when we did Pikmin 3, I think, no, Pikmin Left Behind, that's the only real-time strategy game that I've ever done. And I know that was in 2021 because Pikmin 4 came out and I have not streamed Pikmin 4 since. I want to say Pikmin 4 came out last year, 2020. Was it summer of this year? No, Pikmin came out this year. Yeah, okay. I think this year. And I haven't streamed the Pikmin game. I don't play a lot of real-time strategy games. And again, interactive drama, I would say, is either going to be Her Story, Telling Lies, stuff like that. So there's some things that I kind of want to maybe look into. Hack and slash definitely first comes to mind. Hi-Fi Rush and like, what was the other game? Diablo to an extent, but there was another game I played that was like that. I don't remember which one it was this year. We'll figure it out later. But I do like this because it definitely shows that I love role-playing games in many varieties. Action role-playing, just role-playing straight up. Tactical role-playing is really low because I don't do a lot of tactics games, which is gonna change this upcoming year, 2025, but we'll touch on that later. So let's look at hours spent streaming. If you're ready to be depressed, get ready, because this is probably, you know, where has the time gone? Where has my hours been spent? This is, I know, impossible to read on this, so if you guys want me to zoom in at any point, please feel free to let me know. The shortest games that I spent on so far were 3 of the 4 horror games that I played this year, I think. Pretty much horror games. Darkside Detective, Oxenfree, and Fran Bow. And then we get into things like Coffee Talk, Abduction, Pokemon Yellow. Seasons and ages, we'll touch on more specifics as we kind of dive into the different genres of games. Persona 3 Reload, though, was the longest stream game for me. It was, in total, 91 hours of streaming. Whereas Octopath Traveler was 66 hours worth of streaming. So that's, you know, wild. Like, Octopath Traveler being up there makes sense. Neo The World Ends With You makes sense. Zodiac Age makes sense. Legend of Dragoon, yeah. But Persona 3, like, doubling some of those wild to me, but it makes sense. It's a long trek. So let's look at the longest and shortest games for the last 3 years. And the reason I say last 3 is because I didn't start tracking the length of hours that I was streaming until I got to 2022, and I was like, oh, that's a cool, fun metric. Let's do that. But looking at the last 3 years, we have Fire Emblem Three Houses in 2022, Final Fantasy VII in 2023, and then Persona 3 Reload in 2024, which all track. They're pretty long RPGs, but it's interesting to note that the other two in 2022 and 2024 were 60 plus hours. The longest game I streamed in 2023 last year was Final Fantasy VII. I was blowing through those games. I was booking through it, which it is interesting because last year was also the year I played mostly new games. Like 70 some odd percent were new games, and 25 or some odd percent was like old games I played before, which is interesting to think about. Because, like, for example, Maniac Mansion, Pokemon Snap, and Darkside Detective, for the most part, were all beaten in one stream. I think Darkside Detective I split into 2, but it could have been in 1. But yeah, like, Maniac Mansion, super short game, took me... I think Maniac Mansion, I did it in 1 stream, technically, but I know I had to restart because of the, like, soft lock I put myself into, basically. So it could have been even shorter. Pokemon Snap, I didn't expect to finish it in 1 stream. I was fully expecting it to at least take 2, maybe 3 for the N64. And then Darkside Detective, like I said, was split into 2. The one thing I thought might have been interesting to start doing was looking at how many streamed hours I had put in total for that year. So despite Persona 3 taking up a long time, I actually dropped several hours. So between 2022 and 2023, I had about 900 hours, give or take, a few hours here and there. This year, I dropped a full 100 hours in this. And there are some things that I would consider a reason why. I went to college over the summer, and I took like 4 weeks, 5 weeks off streaming like 3 days a week. So that's like, what, 5, 15, that's like 60 hours right there. So it would have been 860, give or take. And then I did take a lot of time off during December as well, when I finished all the games and just wasn't doing anything since I finished them all. So that's another, let's say, 30 hours, give or take, because that's like 5 or 6 days that I took off. So it's interesting to look at, like, what can change. And then also to realize, like, what changed from year to year to make those kind of differences happen, Where it's like, yeah, I started college again in 2024, therefore my time is shorter. And I don't know if I should probably keep a track of my stream starting time, because I know in 2022 it was a lot different than now, because like I had a different job 2 years ago than I do now. In fact, my job changed at the end of 2023, so like that would have changed something a little bit. But it's interesting, like they're 2022, 2023 pretty close, and then 2024 just college and holidays, man, college and holidays. So looking at it per day, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays are my least streamed total times, which tracks. I mean, I definitely can understand that, because looking at the games that I typically play on Mondays and Thursdays and Sundays, Mondays are games that are just like moods, but this year was Pokemon games, and those are fairly short. I also did, what else did I do on Monday? Fuck. I don't remember what I did on Monday. That's so bad for me. I'm so bad for that. What else did I play on Monday? Not Spirit Fair. Spirit Fair opened on Sunday. Mondays. I don't remember what I did on Mondays. I'll have to go back and check, because I don't have it open right now. I'm not about to open it. But like Tuesdays and Wednesdays being about 100 hours each track. If anything, I would take a day off on a Monday as well. Like if I didn't feel like good over the weekend, I would just not stream Monday night. But like Fridays and Saturdays have being the highest track, because I spend like 6 hours streaming on Friday nights, maybe another 5 or 6 hours on Saturday nights, so that tracks to have them the highest. Thursday, I typically play a horror game, so it just depends on the horror game that I'm playing and how long I want to play it for. But there's some good, reasons why it's so short. And then Sundays, I'm butt up against time to start that work week for Monday, so I just cut it shorter, I stream for an hour and a half, 2 hours, give or take. So something to think about. But like I want to keep track of this as we go forward. It's not too hard to keep track of, but I just want to keep track of, like, nothing's gonna shift. I would imagine it's probably gonna be this, but I want to see, like, if anything changes, like if I'm more consistent on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Like for example, Tuesday we were doing Neo: The World Ends With You and The World Ends With You, which are games that might go a little bit longer. And same thing for Wednesdays, like Legend of Dragoon, other like our older RPGs that I just can't like put down in the middle of. So it might be who of me to keep track of something like that. And then for the average hours a day, we can actually see that is correct. On Mondays are significantly shorter. I say significantly shorter. Are substantially shorter, I would say, by like 10-15 minutes or so than the rest of the week, sometimes as low as like 5-6 minutes. But still, Fridays and Saturdays, on average, I'm streaming for at least 3 hours, almost 4 hours on average. So that's interesting. I do kind of, I want to keep track of something like this. And this is some of the newer stuff that I'm keeping track of just like, how many average hours am I getting streaming per day? You know? Something to think about. And so looking at the Final Fantasy games I've streamed in 2024, I streamed 5 of them, which I was surprised by. When I got to Lightning Returns in like November, not even November, like October, I was like, fuck, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this, you know? But we did. We got 5 games done, which on average would probably be about 5 games per year, give or take. I think we did the first 5 in 2022. That makes sense. Then the second 5 in, or more than that, because it was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10-2 that we did last year. And then, yeah, Zodiac Age, Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns, and 15. So yeah, on average about 5. I know last year was anomaly with 6 because of Final Fantasy 10-2, but by and large, I was surprised. I was not surprised that the Zodiac Age took me so long to do. I figured it was going to take me like upwards of 50-60 hours to get done. I was surprised with A, how short Final Fantasy 13 was, and B, how short Final Fantasy 13-2 were. Like, those 2 games being around 30 hours tops. And I did most of the stuff, but granted, for Final Fantasy 13, I did a lot of stuff off stream, which may not correlate with the actual, like, end game total time. So that's something I also want to keep track of, that I obviously wasn't going to go back and reload every save. But when I finish the game, I want to note how long it actually took me to beat, because that doesn't count, like, especially with Octopath Traveler, I probably put in an extra, like, 20 hours of streaming. No, maybe 20, maybe 15 hours of just grinding time. That wasn't accounted for, you know? So I definitely want to compare, like, stream time versus, like, maybe looking even at grinding time, adding that in. Final Fantasy 15, taking 40 hours, 41 hours, makes sense. I didn't do everything in 15. I did a lot of stuff. I didn't do everything. And at the end, it was just such a straight shot to the end. I was like, I'm done. We just sped through the ending. But if we look at all the Final Fantasies, though, and again, a little bit harder to read, the longest 3 that took me a while to beat were the Zodiac Age, which is great, 15, less happy about, and 7, surprisingly. Which, I mean, makes sense, because 7 is quite a longer game. Like, I think 8 is so short because I had overpowered stats throughout the entire game, and I could just breeze through everything. Final Fantasy 9, I think I had to do more grinding. Like, there was more things to do in 9, that it took a little bit longer. But the fact that, like, 7 took a while, it's just because it's such a long game. And I don't think I did all the grinding or do everything. I didn't do, like, the Emerald Weapon, for example, or all the weapons, so, you know, something to think about. But, like, it is interesting that the earlier first 5 Final Fantasies are, like, sub 20-ish hours, give or take. But they felt so much longer to me, just gameplay-wise. But I will also admit, Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2, I did do a lot of off-screen grinding, so this would be helpful to know, like, what was my final clear time versus, like, what was my start time. You know, like, obviously this is stream time. That's something I want to keep track of moving forward, is just, like, how things are being shaken out by, like, how much grinding I'm doing. Because I want to say in 10 or 10-2, I think I cheated. But I cheated with items on one of those games. I think it was 10, maybe. But yeah, but I did pretty much everything in 12. I did everything, all the hunts, all the fights. I don't think I did too much grinding on 12, but again, we'll have to keep that in mind as we move forward. But yeah, now that most of the Final Fantasies are done, once we have Final Fantasy 16, we're done. I mean, I'm gonna do some other spin-offs and remakes and rebirths and stuff like that, but we'll get to those when we get to those. So for Pokemon, I did 5 Pokemon games, technically. 4 confirmed and 1, you know, fun, modded one. Pokemon Red and Blue, there's about an hour and a half difference between Red and Blue. Red was the Grass Hole attempt, which means I had less Pokemon. I had to do more um like work to get that all going. Like I had to go get the Pokemon, I had to grind them up severely. Blue was a Twitch led Pokemon run, which was fine. Like I didn't have too much trouble with that one. And then Yellow was Ash's run, which, I mean, I think Yellow is a shorter game to begin with because it's faster. You start with a Pikachu, you know, you already start with a pretty good Pokemon. Gold taking about the same hours as Blue, which is also true because I think it was another Ryan picks the Pokemon run, so less of a challenge, if you will. And then Rocket Edition, it's a whole new story. It's also a modded version of Fire Red, so like it's different. Things to consider. But as far as the World Ends With You goes, there were, like, it was almost double the amount of time it took. The newer game from the first game. And again, the first game is less cinematic. It was built for the DS, so there's no a lot of voice acting. There's a lot of big cutscenes. It's all text. So it's really just how fast I could read through it. Whereas the, Neo, The World Ends With You has a bunch of voice dialogue, a bunch of cutscenes, harder fights, more fights. It felt like a longer game. There was a lot more to do in that game with regards to the different, like, in-game Reaper's game challenges and things. So it is definitely something I did find surprising that it was almost a little bit more than double the length of The World Ends With You, which, again, Twiby is a great game, but I think, Neo, for me, was a bit long. But again, streaming is probably different than playing it. Like I said, I got 75% of the way through it, 70% of the way through it, and then I just stopped. Probably not because it got boring, just probably because I was, like, so focused on grinding. But it is something it's interesting to at least consider, like, length of games and how much streaming that eats up, because when we look at how many streams I did per day, like, again, Monday, Thursday, and Sundays were probably the days I was calling out, if you will, if this was a job, more often than not. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, I think, were games that I was enjoying more, so I didn't feel like I wanted to call off from them. But Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, I was like, fuck it, I can skip a day. Like, I know for Rocket Red, I skipped a bunch. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, I was just so burnt out by it. Pokemon Gold, same thing. Sunday, it's the weekend, I have shit going on, But, like, this tracks is, like, about, granted, more than 53 weeks in a year, depending on how you want to count the week, if it's a full 7 days or not. But, from Wednesday to Wednesdays, it makes sense in terms of the year. But I do like this. I do like seeing, like, what days am I falling behind and what can I do to change my behavior, if you will, of, like, how... Sorry, I have a blanket on it. It's just like, oh, starting to get a little toasty. But just seeing, like, how I can change my perspective of, like, why do I call out Monday, Thursday, and Sundays, if you will? Like, why am I taking breaks on those days versus other days? So it's something to think about, something for me to look back and be like, okay, yeah, I had less, motivation those days because of the games I was playing, or maybe just mood, or maybe I got sick, or I want to say I took off Monday, Thursday, and Sunday for classes, so that could also just be the sole reason. Like, I took off 4 weeks, that's about 20 days. No. It's about 4 days each day, so it's about 12 days. So, it just might be something to keep track of, and especially with the stream recap thing that they do, I wish they had, like, more insight of, like, what days did I miss, like, how many days did I actually miss on streaming and stuff like that. Did I stream a full 365, or did I stream, like, 360? Did I even take 5 days off, And there was also that week in August where I didn't stream. So it's, again, things like that where I'm like, I'm taking days off, I'm going on holiday, or taking days off for classes. So it's something to look back at and just see, like, what changed. And I want to do this each year, And even for the games that I played, each year, like, or each day, excuse me. Like, on Monday, we got through 5 games, probably all the Pokemon games, and I think that's pretty much it, give or take. But yeah, like, Final Fantasy Fridays, we got through all 5 Final Fantasy games. Saturdays, we only got through 3. Persona 3, Octopath Traveler, and then one other game whose name is forgetting me. Like, Tuesday, also, Neo, The World Ends With You took up a lot of time. So it's interesting to think about, like, what is going through on what day, and what games I'm playing and how they're adding up to the average. Because in total, I think I did, like, 30 games this year. 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, 30 games this year, which isn't bad. I also keep track of how many games I beat. Last year, it was in the 40s, so 12 more games, but also each game was significantly shorter, like by 20 hours or so. Like, the highest stream game that I had was 37 hours for 2023, whereas the highest stream game that I had was 91 hours, so almost 3 times as much, you know? I mean, you know, give or take. So let's talk about the decades. Let's go back through the past. Let's go look at the release years of the games that I played this year and when they came out. Not surprisingly, most of them are going to be from the late 90s, you know, Pokemon, if you will, I think is red and blue in the first, and then yellow, and then gold, stuff like that. So the majority of them were actually recent, within the last, literally the last decade, from 2014 plus, were the most of the games I played. All the Final Fantasies, basically, not necessarily Final Fantasy 12, because I think Final Fantasy 12 came out in we were in California, we were in here at Homecoming, like 2009 or so, 2011, give or take, somewhere around there. But as far as like 2024 goes, like again, a lot newer games, a lot more modern games that we've been playing, which is great. I do enjoy them, but I don't think that's gonna necessarily trend backwards. Looking at 2025, looking at what I have planned, I think 2025 is gonna be pretty much newer games or games that have been re-released or remastered. But looking at the last 4 years, looking at this Technicolor Hot Mess Express, you can kind of get an idea of like where the majority of the games are going to be playing are. Like, for example, the most newer games in the last decade are going to be things that I've played, you know, that came out in those different years. That's something we got to look at. So looking at like individual years, for example, when I played it in 2022, there's only a few games from the 80s. I honestly think these ones were just like, I don't remember the name, but it's the one that BK recommended. I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting the name. It's the like pixel-based Kojima game. It's not Splatter, it's something like that, but yeah, again, 80s are a little harder. I don't know when Myst came out. I don't know if Myst is one of these. Might be, I'm not sure. But I think Myst would have been in 2021, if anything. And then we get into the 90s, specifically the 1990s. So we see, you know, playing them occasionally. There's not too much in 2024, like I said. More mainly Pokemon games, I think, that came out. And then I think Legend of Dragoon came out in 99, I want to say. Or the early 2000s, one or the other. But in 2000s, you start seeing more varied games in terms of, you know, kind of get hit by every decade or every year that I'm playing something in this decade. And same thing for the 2010s, but here's we start seeing some spikes with regards to 2023 and 2022. There's a lot in 2019, which I don't remember. I mean, again, it's been last year. I don't remember exactly what came out in 2019 that I was playing last year. But there's probably got to be a bunch of them there, you know? And then even we get to the 2020s, we see things that are being played in other games, in other years and things like that. So, yeah. I think the 2024 year that was played in 2022, I think is a different thing. I might have to look into that. There's some issues with my data that I was pulling that I don't think I fully spot checked, but I'll have to go back because I don't think I was playing games in the future that came out in 2024 back when I was streaming in 2022, but we'll see. So superlatives. This is a whole new section. I wanted to kind of highlight what I liked best about the streaming this year. Not necessarily like the Twitch recap, because like the Twitch recap was nice. And you guys are always what makes the streaming so much fun and so valuable and what I enjoy. So let me actually just get somewhere else in this game real quick. First, a music shift, because it's been about half an hour and I kind of want to change the music for the superlatives. I don't know where I want to go per se, but I know I want to change the music. So we're going to go bop around on a teleport orb real quick and just go somewhere else. I don't know what music is where. Maybe we go to Laxus Land? I don't know. We'll see. I'm also playing Wild Arms 3 in the background just because I wanted something like in the background, and I did Wild Arms 2 like earlier. So I'm like, let's just do Wild Arms 3. Yeah, let's go somewhere else. Okay. Not really feeling the vibe of that. Maybe we go to Basker. But the superlatives is something I wanted to do to highlight like the like in high school, if you ever had a yearbook that did this, like the most likely to like you know, flop on the deck and flail like a fish, I guess, to quote SpongeBob, I guess. Okay, I might turn this up a little bit, but we'll stick it with here. I think this is fine for now. But yeah, I just wanted some background ambiance. So obviously this is not just gonna be like most likely to succeed, most likely to be a comedian, most likely to, you know, become president or whatever. This is more specifically for me to say, like, what did I think had the best story? What did I think had, like, the best music, the best gameplay? What one actually got me most emotional? Which one got me most frustrated? Things like that. So let's go into the top one. So for best story, I had a lot of contenders. I should have probably done this like a nomination, like the Oscars or whatever. Be like, these are up for best story, and the winner is this one. But for me, the best story is Sea of Stars. I think for the story, it gripped me. Like, you'll see, I also did runner-ups or honorable mentions because I did think I needed to put these in here because, you know, I played like 30 games this year. They're all pretty good. I would, you know, but for example, I'm not going to put Pokemon Red here, you know? Hell, I'm not going to put any Pokemon game in here. Except maybe Rocket Edition. Rocket Edition was fun. But I think Sea of Stars, like, it hit me to my core. I loved the cast. I think it was great. It was a return to form for, like, more traditional turn-based RPGs, with a twist, with the flair. The combat was fun. I mean, I'm talking about the game. Maybe I should do best game next year. But I think I like the story of Sea of Stars. I like the, like, moon and sun dichotomy. I like the you know, trio of friendship. I like the whole story, the whole story from start to finish. The places you go, the things you do, how you travel, how the story progresses, how you get more ability to travel. Everything was perfect. And then honorable mention, I would say, is Persona 3 Reload, because I'm not going to put the graphic for Persona 3 up here. I think the honorable mention for me was Persona 3, because I have never played that Persona game before. I do love Persona. I do think the story was solid. The ending was fucking wild. Still makes me sad to think about, but I think I preferred Sea of Stars' story much, much more. Not saying Persona 3 is trash, but, like, it's an honorable mention for me. Mainly because they're the only two real big story games that I played that were, like, gripping, you know? And speaking of best music, because I did not go into that at all, it should come to no surprise that it's going to be one of the Twiwi games, but I think for me, I like the music from Neo Twiwi a lot better. Not a lot better. I think I like it more. I do like the original music from The World Ends With You. It's still on my Apple playlist to this day. I still love it. I just think The World Ends With You Neo, or Neo The World Ends With You, is just such a good bop. It's got a lot of variety of music and stuff like that, and I don't know, I just think it's nice. I will admit some of the battle themes are a bit repetitive, and I think some of the overworld themes are a bit repetitive, but I think that's a flaw of the game design, not necessarily the flaw of the music itself, because having to do chain battles but the music doesn't change, I think is a game issue, not the music issue. Because, again, the music isn't necessarily meant to last like full 8-10 minutes. It's a 3-minute song, 2-minute song, then you move on to the next. But anyway, I love Neo The World Ends With You. An honorable mention for me, though, is Spiritfarer. I loved the music of Spiritfarer absolutely so much that I was just like, I wanted to play the music. I wanted to play Giovanni's theme. Still to this day, do I want to play Giovanni's theme. The ending theme song when you get the credits, and you finally descend into the Everdor. It's so good. The music is it's so good in that game. So good. As far as best gameplay, and this is actual gameplay, like how you move and how you control, it is my pleasure to give that award to Final Fantasy 15, the Zodiac Age. Final Fantasy 15? Who the fuck am I? Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. Ryan, you almost said a bad thing. Like, I love the Gambit system. I love that you can explore wildly, openly, do whatever you want. Sorry, gotta get this blanket behind me. I really enjoy 12. And then the whole gameplay with the picking jobs as a job class system. I love a job class system. As you'll probably guess what the honorable mention will be, Octopath Traveler. I love job classes. Give me a job class. Give me skills. I love Final Fantasy 12 so much. It's my favorite game of all time. It had to make this like superlative list at some way, shape, or form. Doesn't have the most memorable music to me, and the story is fine. It's a lot, and it's not. The gameplay is why I come back. The story is just the set dressing for me. But Octopath Traveler is also great. I love the gameplay of that. I love the brake system, or the brake system, yes, the boost system, or the BP system, I guess, boost system. Yeah, I love 12 in Octopath. Most emotional. What games made me cry the most? Because I gave Best Story to Sea of Stars, I wasn't going to give it here. Because while I did cry, ugly cry, at that one cutscene, and y'all know we're there, who was there, y'all saw it, I think for me, Spiritfarer is where I cried consistently through it. Whenever we said goodbye to a friend, whenever the friend said some deep emotional shit, Stanley, Gwen, Atul, Beverly, Giovanni, Daria, Bruce and Mickey, Summer, Alice, my heart, Astrid, fuck, Elena, fuck off Elena, Jackie, fuck off Jackie, Daria, I think I already said Daria, but like they all made me cry. I shed many a tears. I ugly cried for some of these. I ugly cried for a lot of them. The honorable mention, like I mentioned, is Sea of Stars, because also Garl makes me fucking cry to this day. Like, God, Garl. Was not expecting that emotional sucker punch when I started that game, but fuck was it good. Fuck did it make me care. And moving into making me care, what games made me care too much? And by too much, I mean wanting to throw the controller out the window. There's a couple of them, but the only one I could really think of that came to mind first, Final Fantasy Lightning Returns 13. I said that backwards. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. It's the title that makes me upset. It's the fact that we went from 6 characters to 3. It's basically 2 and a monster. And then to Lightning, who is my least favorite character in the series. And then the stress of the fucking time system. Because me and my brain don't like him until I played it before. And I was not going to play it before. So here we are. I do not like 13 Lightning Returns. I think it is the worst game in the trilogy. I think it might be the worst Final Fantasy game. Close second is 15, unfortunately. And then the other game that frustrated the shit out of me is Legend of Dragoon, because God, the addition system. God, the addition system. God, the fact you can only carry 32 items. Fuck me, man. Fuck me. 32 items is not enough. 32 items is never enough. I need more. I need more. Give me more, like in the immortal words of Britney Spears. Give me more, give me more, give me more. I want more item space. Okay. So out of all the games that I played today, all 30 of them, there's a couple that I would probably replay. I will probably replay Final Fantasy 12, to be quite honest. I'll probably replay Octopath Traveler again. Not this year, maybe not next year, maybe in 5 or 6 years. But one game that I'm kind of like itching to play again, just because of the choices you have, the limited choices you have, is Pokemon Fire Red Rocket Edition. Because I think it may be, and in fact, I think I will make the statement, and I think it is my favorite Pokemon game. Facts. I think the fact that you are on Team Rocket, the fact that you have such close ties with Giovanni, the fact that what you do during the game can impact the ending, and depends like what happens then, I'm such a big fan of. Such a big fan of. I do think the lack of money is a bit of a problem, but I can get around that. Yeah. And then I would say honorable mention Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, because I could play the Zodiac Age every day for the rest of my life. I'm thinking already of cooking up some challenges for next year. I'm already thinking like, all magic run. All magic. Every one of you, a fucking mage today. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. Squishy mages. I want it. But we'll see. We'll see. And then some more fun superlatives that I thought of last minute. Wildest opinions. What opinions of the games that I was playing changed from like one stream to the next? One game I was like, oh, I love this. Next game I fucking hate it. Back to loving, back to hating. Like, what game did really have me bouncing back and forth, unable to determine, do I like this? Do I not like this? Is the story good? Is the story a hot mess? Do I understand what's going on? I think that goes to Nier Replicant. I think the intro was slow and steady to start. I think it grew on me. I know it grew on me. I ugly cried at this game too. A bit, not really. Yeah, Emil, I cried a bit. But like, I liked it. I wish I could play as Papa Nier though. That's my whole thing, is I want to play as Daddy Nier, not Brother Nier, but you know, to each their own. But I do like this game. I really do like the game. I think it's phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to playing Nier Automata. I think I did that on Thursdays then, as well. Which is interesting then. But I know I did shorter games on Thursdays as well for horror games, so we gotta keep that in mind for next time. An honorable mention goes to Final Fantasy 15, not featured here because fuck Final Fantasy 15, but I did have wild opinions during Final Fantasy 15. So much so that I almost put Final Fantasy 15 here, but I'm like, I can't give the actual award to Final Fantasy 15. No. Perish the thought. Perish the thought. And then my tier, my superlative, because you know me, gotta have that thirsty moment. One of the sexiest characters in the games that I've played so far this year. And it should come to no shock, no awe, no surprise that number one, Daddy Giovanni. He is my favorite. He is the reason why I played Pokemon Rocket Red or Rocket Edition, because fuck it. I get a buddy up next to Giovanni. He may be married, but I can dissolve that marriage and be his new wife. Might as well. But then beyond Giovanni, which, I mean, how could I ever get beyond Giovanni? We have another Sky Pirate, Balthier. Sky Pirate. Well, he is a Sky Pirate. I love Balthier in 12. I mean, Balthier, I could have put Bosch up here too, but Balthier, I think, also has a chokehold on my heart. I love Balthier so fucking much. He has done nothing wrong, and I love him to bits. He is the best, and I cannot handle a life without Balthier in it. So yeah, I'm also gonna get my water because I'm thirsty as shit, especially before I go into the next two. Okay. Snow, again, should come as no shock, no surprise. Snow from Final Fantasy 13 could get it. He could get it. Morning, noon, night, he could just look at me and I say, yes, sir, thank you, sir. I love Snow. I love his little, like, beanie cap. I love his little scruff. I think he looks worse as the game goes on, which is why I picked Final Fantasy 13 Snow here. I think he needs a styler in his life because I don't think with Sarah there, he knows how to dress himself, and that's why he gets progressively worse because Sarah's no longer there to help him. I think Sarah's responsible for this outfit, and I gotta say kudos to you, Sarah. I'm stealing your man now. And finally, from the most recent game we played this year, we have Toshiro from Persona 5 Tactica, because I fucking love Toshiro. He is a subby businessman. He just gets stepped on by his fiance and his daddy, and I fucking love him. He also went through trauma, and I could fix him. And I also just think, you know what, I gotta have some Persona representation on here. Shinjiro was also not remembered because I forgot entirely Persona 3, so he's not even going to be in the honorable mention, but special honorable mention to Shinjiro from Persona 3 because goddamn is he cute, and I love him. And Junpei, my other boyfriend, he's also, you know, a teenager. So, some other honorable mentions, Albert from Legend of Dragoon, don't know why I picked Albert over, you know, Shinjiro, but fuck me, I guess. Bosch from Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, because of course, and Gladdy Daddy from Final Fantasy 15. Before the time skip. After the time skip, or like the, you know, big incident with the princess, we're good. And then I think, without further ado, let's talk about some new things that are going to be coming up in 2025. I do have a couple of things I have decided on for fun. Starting off with some new channel redeems. We have tarot readings. I am not going to be great at this. I will fully admit that. I used to read them back when I was in college, and I have not touched the tarot decks since. I did a couple of readings for myself. I got over 10 tarot decks literally on my desk at all times now. So I figured, why the fuck not? We'll have to figure out the camera situation because, yeah, I don't have a second camera. And yeah, I kind of might have to figure that out. We'll see. But yeah. The other thing I thought about is having you guys be able to pick my next game. So, yeah, like, if you guys wanted to redeem it, I think I set it for like 500,000. Yeah. But yeah. If that's a good idea, Raffle My Pancakes. I will have to consider that. I stream off a Mac, so my Mac has a camera built in, a webcam, so I might try to default to that, and then use my actual webcam that I'm using for, like, actual this. As like the thing that sits over here, not on stream, if you will, that can look at my desk. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out because I also don't have a stand for my phone, so we'll see. But welcome in, Raffle My Pancakes. Hope you're doing well. But I figured, like, for 500,000, I don't know how many points y'all have who come here. I don't know how many points you guys get in a stream. I have no idea. I know for me, getting to, like, 200,000 took a while for a streamer. and I used to watch them regularly, so I think getting up to 500,000 would probably take a minute. Obviously, there's some limitations. Like, if I don't own it, I'm gonna have to buy it at some point. And if I'm in the middle of a game, like for example, if I'm in the middle of, let's say, Persona 5, not saying Persona 5 is next, but if I'm in the middle of Persona 5 and you redeem that, I'm not gonna drop Persona 5 just to play this. It'll be whatever game I finish next, if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or if you guys have a specific day, yeah. The dashboard estimates what your views average per hour. Oh yeah, no, I know it does, but I don't. I'm a numbers guy, but I don't remember that number off the top of my head because I didn't write it down. But I think they said they get like 220 or 300 per hour, I think. Because it's like you get drops. It's been essentially you have to click and it's like 50 or 60 if you're subbed, I think. And then I think you get 10 per 10 minutes or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I'll have to look at that and then like extrapolate some math. But I think I'll probably limit it to maybe like 3 or 4 a year. I don't know. But tarot readings are going to be cheaper, so you guys can just go buck wild. Those are the two things I thought of. MMOs are going to be off limits because I don't have a Mac. Because I have a Mac, and I know most things can't run on here. Like, I think Final Fantasy 14 can run, but I personally don't trust it to run and stream at the same time. So, like, I just don't want to fuck around with MMOs. But I have most consoles, and I should probably, the other thing is, I don't have an Xbox, so if an Xbox exclusive, I cannot play it. I don't have an Xbox, and I don't plan on getting one, so, whoops. But yeah. So that's those two games, at least those two done. And then obviously, the stream types, you know, I just want to kind of spice things up a bit. I know, like, Monday, most of these things are going to be identical to what I've done before. Monday Fun Day. I do want to go back to Tactical Tuesday. I did Switching Up Tuesday this year, I think, some point during this year, just because I was like, I have Switch games I want to play, but, like, I kind of really hate Tuesdays for that. But it was like, you know, games I wanted to play already. So it was like Neo, The World Ends With You, The World Ends With You, stuff like that. So I'm like, it's fine. But for me, yeah. Tactics games are the best. I have like a bunch too. I just got some. I have like Dark Deity, I think, on the Switch or Steam or something like that. I have like the Dealfield Chronicles, Triangle Strategy. I have a bunch of tactics games that I've just not done anything with because I just, you know, didn't prioritize them. So I kind of want to prioritize some tactics games. But mainly everything else is the same. Like Mondays are the same, Wednesdays are the same, Thursdays are the same. Final Fantasy Fridays are still a thing. We're going to finish Final Fantasy 16 this year, as in 2025. And then we're going to do some offshoots. I know I have Final Fantasy Type 0 that I've never beat, and I have Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth. Never touched them, really. I mean, I did touch Remake a bit. But then some other games that I had are like, an idea of doing is like doing another challenge run in like maybe Tactics or something just to fill out the year. We'll see. I think 16 Type 0 and the 2 FF7 remakes and Rebirth games are going to take a while, and I average about 5 per year, so starting off with 4 listed I think is fine. And then Saturdays, just gonna throw whatever I want out on the wall and see what sticks. Obviously, we just finished Octopath Traveler, so we're gonna immediately dive into Octopath Traveler 2, but after that, who knows? And then stress-free Sundays, just something I can do that's chill, that doesn't really have like a big plot maybe, or more slice of life, maybe a farming simulator, something where I'm like, there may be no end goal, but I could be like, I think I'm done now, or I want to move on to something else, you know? And then one thing I want to try and schedule more frequently is just chatting streams. I like chatting with you guys, I like checking in. And this could be something like we do Unhinged tier lists, or we do like an AMA, or like, maybe I'll do my homework on stream. We'll see. I'm joking. But depending on my homework, I might write an essay on stream. We'll see. But I just want to have like a monthly check-in with you guys, just to sit down and just chat. Tentatively, I have it like for the last Friday of the month, depending. Because obviously, like, we'll see. Like, Fridays are going to be easier for me. I don't really want to shortchange Final Fantasy Fridays, so it might be a different day. It might be Saturday, it might be a Sunday. I don't know. But just like my dart on the wall idea was like, oh, Fridays. But I'm like, it might be a Sunday. We'll see. So those are the stream types. But now that 2025 is upon us and all the question marks were at the beginning when I just said, I don't know, I'm streaming next year. We're going to go through the schedule because I know it's tiny and horribly scaled, but it's just the best way it could fit. I had to remake this because when I saved it, all the text was saved as a image file, like a image layer, like I guess not a vector layer, but like a non-text layer in the image editor that I use, and I was like, fuck, I can't undo this now. So I had to retype it out, but it's fine. So obviously it looks different. I might readjust some of the text, maybe. But yeah, so we're gonna start with Eiyuden Chronicle because I've been sitting on it. It's been literally in my to play list, and I haven't even played it. And I got it, I think, last year towards the beginning of the year, or maybe middle of the year. I don't remember. I get things that I just forget when I got them. Speaking of tactics games, we're gonna do Triangle Strategy because why the fuck not? Same font basically as Octopath Traveler 2. We might as well. And another game I've been sitting on that I've never played before is Tales of Symphonia. I never had a GameCube growing up, so I never got to play it. But I have it on the Switch, and I think I've heard that the patches have fixed most of the problems. Don't quote me. We might have problems. We'll see. And then Resident Evil 3, of course. I want to get scared. Let's start off with the third Resident Evil. I don't own any of the other ones. I don't think I own 4, maybe. I know I own 1 and I own 2. I think I did 2. Yeah, I did 2. Remake. It's on the PlayStation 5 because it's the only way I can play it, I think. I'm 90% sure it's the remake though, which is fine because I think I played the remake. No. Yeah, I played the remake of 1 and I played the remake of 2. Yeah. Yeah. Yes? Yes. Yes. It's the remakes because I don't have the originals. I mean, I'd probably do somewhere in my shed in the disc box that I have out there, but yeah, I don't really want to try and grab them. I also don't have a PlayStation 2 stream off of that I have a connection for, so woo. But the remake, because again, I think I've been doing all the remakes so far. Yes. Because I had a thing, I'm like, did I do 2? I'm like, yeah, Chris. No. Yeah, Chris and whatever her name is. Rebecca? Rebecca? What? It's been a year. It's been a long time since I did Resident Evil proper. I don't think I did Resident Evil at all last year, or this year that we're in. Anyway, yeah, I think I did it last year, like 2023. Wild. And then Final Fantasy Fridays, obviously Final Fantasy 16 because it's the next game in the numbered series, and hopefully, knock on wood, by the time I finish Final Fantasy Fridays, Final Fantasy 17 doesn't come out yet. Because if it comes out next year, I'm gonna be sad. Because it's just gonna be one more thing to do. Like one more Final Fantasy. But I am really excited for 16. I've heard good things about it. And I'm very, very excited to get to it. And then obviously Octopath Traveler 2, I have not played. And I just, I kind of know who I want to start with because I've heard a bit that the scholar who the daddy other like in the game, the prisoner, you have to go through like their first 2 chapters to get. So I might save that one for unfortunately last. We'll see. And then Ooblets. I have never played it. I've watched somebody play the intro of it and I think it looked cute. I think it's a card game, like a dance battle card game, kind of like a... I don't play card games. That's the thing. It's I don't really play card-based video games. Like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is the only thing I've ever done before. So I think that would be something new. And again, I don't know if it has an ending. We'll play it for a bit. I kind of like Fae Farm. We'll play it for a bit, and I might give up. I might jump back into Fae Farm. We'll see. I mean, I did a lot off stream, obviously, but we'll see. I'm just throwing things out there, and I think it's going to be a chill game. It looks fun. It looks cute, bright, colorful. But yeah, that's the schedule for 2025. This will start tomorrow, Wednesday. So we're going to be starting with Tales of Symphonia, which will be fun. And then, yeah, we'll probably be doing a lot of games and streams as we go on from here. But one thing I do want to say is just a resounding thank you guys for being here. Thanks for another wonderful year of streaming. I appreciate you guys all so much. I hope you have nothing but positive and wonderful things heading your way in 2025. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. May they all go off successfully. And if you can, I hope you all have just a phenomenal year looking ahead, good things, good vibes. May we all, get through the year together. May we all have each other's backs, and just know that if you guys ever need to chat, if you ever need to come in and just tell me how your day is, feel free. I'd rather hear from it and then see what I can do to help, if anything, even just by lending an ear, But that's essentially everything. I didn't have anything else planned for today. just wanted to go through the year in review, go through all the stats, go through all the superlatives and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll probably be ending it here. It's been just over an hour, and it's been wonderful having you guys. I was gonna try and stream till midnight, but I'm at the tail end of a cold, and I sound nasally myself, and I already know my throat's on the cusp of fucking me over at this point, because I don't normally talk for an hour straight like this. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful year. It's been a wonderful year playing games with you on Twitch, and just a wonderful year having you guys in my life, and I appreciate you all so much. So as we say goodbye and probably go send a raid over to somebody, I hope you all have a safe and happy New Year's Eve and a happy start to your 2025. And I will see you guys around and see you guys in the new year. Let's go find somebody to raid. I just need to do that because I need to close some windows, and I don't know how to close them with you guys looking at me because I feel awkward as shit. So let me go do that. All right, see you next year. See you guys next year. Let's go see who's live though. Let's see what people are playing tonight. Let's say hello to Atakash. They're currently playing Mass Effect. Let's go see how they're doing. But I hope you all have a wonderful year, my friends. Enjoy the raid. Enjoy your evenings. I love you all so much. And I hope you guys have a fantastic 2025. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Much love, my friends. And enjoy your holiday. See ya.